Hi, this video is about how to figure out which pull chain on your ceiling fan is for the fan and which one is for the light. Now, I could have just given you a couple of lines of text to explain how to tell those apart, and you would have already had your answer. But that's not all of that interesting to me personally, because I want you to watch a video about me, and that's what's most important to me. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about ceiling fans and ceiling fan lights, and how to switch on the light or how to switch on the fan. Now, if you have a ceiling fan without a light, then it's probably not going to be as difficult to figure out which is which. But if you have both, then it can be more difficult. And that's because there will be usually two pull chains, and one pull chain will operate the light and the other one will operate the fan. And if you were not watching this video, you could have tried both of them already and you would have figured it out and you would be done with this. But instead you're watching this video, and I really appreciate that you're watching this video because I'm monetizing this, which means that I'm getting a fraction of a penny every time somebody watches this. And that's really important to me personally. So thank you for watching this. And I do want to mention that I have a whole series of videos on how to do things that everybody already knows how to do. And if you watch those videos, that's a big help to me. And also I have a Patreon account that you can give money to help me to make more of these videos, to show people how to do stuff they probably already know how to do, and if they don't, they could have figured it out in about 15 seconds instead of watching a video that actually runs for several minutes. Now, if you do have a ceiling fan, I want you to take a look at that ceiling fan, and in addition to the two chains, you may also notice that there is a switch on the side of it. Now, that switch will change the direction of the fan, and that's really important because you want the fan to be going in the right direction for the time of year. And if you are in the summertime, you probably want a breeze to blow on you, which will make you feel cooler because that air will be moving past you. But in the wintertime, it may not be that helpful to have that breeze blowing directly on you. So you want that fan to turn the other direction so that it's blowing air away from you and it doesn't feel as strong and it won't cool you off so much. And instead what it will be doing is bringing heat down from the ceiling. So that's important, but you don't want to turn that switch while the fan is on. And that's very important because if the fan is already turning one direction and you flip that switch, then it's going to start turning in the opposite direction, but it will take a while, and it's hard on the motor to do that. And so it's not good for the motor. It's going to decrease the life of your fan. And also, another thing is, if you're going to be reversing the direction of your fan, you want to make sure that you clean off the fan first, because as the fan runs, it has a tendency to collect some dust on it. Well, if your fan has that dust on it on one edge, when you turn that fan around, that dust will probably fly off all over your room. If you are allergic to dust, that will be really uncomfortable. It may trigger an asthma attack, which would be bad. So be careful with reversing that switch. Now, of course, none of the things that I have talked about so far are actually what you went to this video for in the first place. And so I'm 4 minutes in and I still haven't helped you, which makes this a very good instructional video. So I'm going to turn the camera here so that you can see the ceiling fan with the two chains. Okay, and that ceiling fan is the light is on but the fan is off. Now you might wonder, how can I tell which chain is which? And one way certainly would be to just pull one and find out what it does, or pull the other one if that's not the one that you wanted. One of the things you probably should know about ceiling fans is that most of them have multiple speeds. And when you first pull the chain for the fan, you will notice that it is on the high speed. And if you pull it again, it will go to the medium speed. And then if you pull it again, it goes to the slow speed. And then the fourth time, it will turn off again. And there's a reason for that, because when the fan first starts turning, you want that extra power to kind of overcome the inertia. You want to kind of kick it into drive, so to speak. And then you can kind of let it slow down into the slower speeds. So anyway, you could have just pulled one chain to see what it does, and then tried pulling the other chain to see what it does. But there is another way to do this. And I want to take a look at those chains again. And if you look at the chains, you'll see that one of them is on the center and one of them is on the side. And that will help you to determine which chain it is you want to pull. Now, some people think it's the longer chain or the shorter chain, but those chains, the chain lengths can be adjusted. You can cut them shorter. You can add on pieces. So the length of the chain will not necessarily tell you which one you want to pull. Some people will look at the handles, and if you've put handles on there to identify which is the fan and which is the light, that is helpful, but you have to know that that's already been done. But in the case of these two chains, again, there is one that is on the center and one that is on the side. So what I'm going to say is that you can pull the center chain, because the center chain, if you look at it, is connected directly to where the light is. And the one on the side is connected to where the motor for the fan is. So the center chain, the one that's hooked up directly to the light, is probably the one that's going to turn on the light. And the one on the side that is connected to the motor is the one that is probably going to turn on the fan. And so I'm 7.5 minutes in here telling you something that I could have told you with probably 2 sentences, but I really appreciate you watching this. Please subscribe to my channel. Donate on my Patreon to help me continue to make these useless videos. Thank you.